What's
What
going
is
on,
up?
everyone? Another episode, Cold Ones Conversations. We're coming down to the home stretch here, dude, soon. We're in week 10. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got on this show, if you got on this program, you're listening to the best show that you could be listening to on the internet. We're bringing you the best sports knowledge possible. This is Code Ones Conversations. It's a football show. It's week 10. I am Hollywood Hair, and I am joined by Brendan the Bod Petrilli. And as always, Trilly, how are we doing today?
Doing
Eagles win.
well. I'm doing well. You know, the birds, they make things closer than it should be, but it is what it is. We can't ask for three blowout wins in a row. All right.
No, no.
So, like, that's too much. It was a good win. We're gonna get into it in a couple minutes here, but those Kelly Greens, fire, Saquon Barkley, fire, Derrick Henry, fire, and then we'll get into our picks. We need to come up with a winner at the end of this show, Harry. We need to hit a parlay this year. It's
I know.
brutal.
It's
I got
bad,
hot
man.
Monday night gambling on that Chiefs Tampa game with Kareem Hunt scoring that game-winning touchdown for me, and we ended up getting the over in that game too because they went to overtime. Thank you, Tampa Bay. But we'll get into all that coming up here. But also, you didn't notice the new glasses at all? If you're watching on YouTube, like
But are those the fish or are those the blue light? That way you look a little bit more sophisticated.
no, no, they're real. They're the real
They're
deal.
real?
The
I
real
like them,
deal.
dude. I like them. What was the fitting? What made us go for this? I'm liking it.
Well,
You like the box look. I like the box look on you. It's good.
well, no. Usually I have the big round ones. You know, these
I
are the
know. That's what I'm saying. I like this box look.
Yeah, I don't know. I just figured I'd try something different. Well, the thing is, we might have to bring it back. Is these are my old ones, right?
Right,
Old.
right.
I
Yeah.
broke the other ones.
Okay.
So these were like my original pair that I got, and then I got a new pair. I fell asleep with them on.
This is such a cold
W-
ones
We have
part
to
of the
bring back
show.
Am I Dumb? Am I dumb? I fell asleep with my glasses on. I wake up and they're broken.
And they're
The
broken.
frames are in shambles.
I hear you.
So I had to get a new pair. Shout out iDirect. We need them to sponsor us. They were pretty cheap. They're lightweight, nice and
Nice.
flexible.
I
They
direct.
kind
Hit
of
us up.
reflect a little too much, but it is what it
It,
is.
it is what it is, dude. Dude, I gotta say, I was looking back at it. You're right. Three blowout wins would have been crazy with that Giants win, and then obviously coming off of that Cincy win, which last week I was praised the Eagles for. But dude, we got to talk about might be the highlight reel. Might have outdone, well, not might have, has outdone Isaiah Likely's Week 1 highlight of the year. And Saquon Barkley doing the backwards hurdle, dude. I
Dude,
mean, what? I
so
mean,
so
how
good.
sick was that? But that's, as an athlete, totally taking out the football conversation, just like admiring how dope he is and how sick of an athlete he is. That's the reason why that dude in the gym squats 450 for reps and maxes out at 600. Because when you think about it, dude, that guy that he's going against probably height. We can look it up here on stats, but as you know, we don't fact check. We're not going to go look it up. He's got to be at least, let's say, 6'1". And with his head down, he's probably what? Let's say he's at 5 feet. When Saquon he just hurdled 5 feet in the air at a minimum, backwards. Like that's insane, dude. Insane.
That's like box jumps, you know. Like I have a real.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to put this clip in the video in the clip, but me box jumping at Susky. That was like prime BSP in the Susky gym right there, getting up. Because this man, you brought him up, I smiled right away. He is my Roman Empire. He's all I think about during the day. Women go, how many times do guys think about the Roman? How many times do I think about Saquon Barkley? Because this guy is just absolutely insane with this offensive line, just absolutely beating down people, moving bodies,
Insane.
moving weight, getting up, and just the feel. The spin move before the jump could have been a highlight in itself. He like undressed the dude with the spin move, and then to have the presence of mind of I know a guy's coming, go up, backwards, and then I
Yeah,
just wish that there weren't guys there to tackle him because
I
if he would
know.
have landed that turn and went for a
Oh my God.
touchdown, that's the best play of top five of all time.
So let me ask you a question, dude. In all honesty, I know we're now halfway through the season. He's only been here for a season. He came from a division rival. This could be way too early to say, but as Philadelphia fans like to do, they like to be either too early on booing or too early on cheering. My question to you
No,
is,
for sure.
will Saquon become an all-time great Eagle? Will he be
Uh,
considered in that realm?
Hey,
Will he be
the talent's there with the offensive line. You just gotta stay healthy.
Will
That's the
he be
biggest
like a
thing.
Fletcher Cox? Like, could he be in that? Could he be
I
in
mean,
that
LaShawn,
role?
he did this in front of LaShawn McCoy, who got inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame that day.
Right, right.
Like he scored the one touchdown and he went over and him and Shady
I
did the
know.
Shady like
It was
he
sick.
could easily pass LaShawn McCoy. Like easily. The way
That's crazy.
his athleticism, his everything, the way that the Eagles prioritize the offensive line and running the football now, he's just got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing that you and I keep talking about with our big
Yeah.
time running backs is
Yep.
you got to keep them on a pitch count a little bit, but it's finding a balance. They can stay healthy. Sky's the limit. I mean, our
Well,
two guys
yeah.
can go for 2,000 rushing yards.
I know, and it's hard, man, more for the Eagles because you're starting to see a little bit of injury get to you where they're having to put those extra reps on Saquon. With
Yeah.
AJ going down, they're looking for that production out of that guy that can keep that offense rolling, keep that offense humming. So you need AJ back for sure. But hey, a little bit of a close win, but Eagles
Yeah.
win
And
on the
that's
road.
another thing too. I
Yeah.
mean, Nick Sirianni's just got to stay out the way. He was doing a good job of that for 2 weeks against the Giants and Bengals, and we saw how it turned out. This time he just decided to step in on different play calls now, and it really hindered the team. If the play calls going forward on fourth to 2 point conversions, if they all worked out, this was a laugher. It would have been like, all right, nobody cares. Kind
Right.
of like what the Dan Campbell and the Lions have been doing. They've been doing pretty much the same thing. I keep saying this over and over and over again. Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni are the same exact coach. They're
That
not
is
just
not true,
Yes,
Trill.
it
I
is.
can't I
They
can't
are
give
the
that to you.
same exact coach, dude.
No, they're not.
They both have no situational awareness. They're always going to be aggressive. But the one thing is, we saw it with Sirianni in 22 when he was doing the right things. They were hitting. He was the best coach ever.
Okay, so
Dan
wait.
Campbell sucked. He blew his opportunity to go to a Super Bowl because those aggressive play
So
calls,
wait.
which are fine, came to bite them in the ass. They're going well for him again now. He's got to have an opportunity to do it again in the playoffs, and we're going to see if it works or if it doesn't. Because if
So
it
you
doesn't,
think,
he's the biggest idiot in the world again.
and
Just like Sirianni is right now.
I'm
They are the
not
same
disagreeing
exact
with you.
coach. They're different players, different body types, different styles, but their head coaching abilities are the same.
I'm not disagreeing with you with what I'm about to ask. I'm not asking you to make this call and I'm taking the opposite side. I just want to know what you think here then by what you're saying about Dan Campbell. Do you believe then that Jared Goff was always destined to be this good no matter who his head coach was, no matter who at least his OC? We'll put it that way because we know that Dan Campbell's making the calls. Are you saying that
Dan Campbell's not
Detroit's
calling
success,
plays.
he's not calling the offense's
No,
plays?
no, that's Ben Johnson.
Oh, see, I thought that Dan was.
No, 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 no. Both of
Oh,
them are
see.
CEO head coaches that all they literally do is fourth downs, punt, field goal.
So then
That's
you
it.
do think that then you do think that no matter who Golf has had, he
Yes.
was going to be this good.
You saw him do great with McVay. Now they
He
came up
did.
short, and they ended up moving on from him. But then the Lions were able to build him back
Yeah.
up, get him some
I
talent.
don't hate that. I don't hate that. I think that Sirianni's needed a better quarterback to keep him
Dan
than
Campbell's a
I don't
better
know.
motivator for sure because the players kind of like he's the big rah rah, drop the
Yeah.
nuts and
He's
all
a
that.
player's
But
coach.
they
He's a
both
player's
have the
coach.
same corny ass sayings all the time, biting kneecaps. We got to
Yeah.
plant roots. Like they are the same exact coach. They are in
All right.
different bodies.
Enough about Detroit. We'll get into them in a minute. Eagles win. We got to quickly hit the Ravens last week. Dominant win at home. Loved it. In the bank. We're at the bank again tonight for primetime football as we record, but 41-10, showing that the amount of buttons that we have in this offense are just absolutely unbelievable. Zay Flowers showing once again when he can separate as he did all last season and now finally being able to separate because of the amount of weapons that we have and people being having to able to cover the field. He is without a doubt right now. He's a top 5 weapon in the league. I mean, when as a wideout, at least. There's no question about it, dude. You've got Derrick Henry's continued offense chugging along, going. The defense, for the first time, they must have listened to the podcast, dude, because they decided for the first week of the NFL to actually tell a team all game long, we're going to put you in third and long all day long. And look what happens when you do that. You hold the team to 10 points and you let Action Jackson, Lamar Jackson, march down the field and make everybody move and groove. And you hang 40 on him. Now, this was against Bo Nix. This was against the Denver Broncos. who do have a good winning record. But is this the same type of win? Do I hold this the way that I held that Bills win? No, I don't. The Bills win meant much, much more, obviously. My point just being the defense now needs to build off of this and capitalize in a primetime game against a division rival at home tonight. Put Joe Burrow in third and long all day long. Make him work. Make him show what Jamar Chase is. Make him show what T. Higgins is. Make those guys work for their talent and don't just let their talent walk into the room. Make them show who they are. I love dude, listen, it comes down to it again. We're 6-3. We should be, I don't even say what we should. We should be undefeated. Let's just make that clear. But we're not, so we're not going to go there. But the point just is, ladies and gentlemen, when we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, this is who the Ravens are. We're a team that just steps right through you. And it comes down to, again, our defense still has, even after a win, I'm just going to say it because of the quality of the win, build off of it. Let's go make a move. Let's go get an elite pass rusher. Let's make something happen. And let's absolutely obliterate the Bengals today. But we're going to get into that pick later. You want to hit fastest minute, bro?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Definitely a good one for the Ravens, though.
Good win. Absolutely.
It needed to happen. You couldn't let that Broncos team record. I don't believe in that record.
I don't believe in that record too, and that's what I love about the score. That's what I love, that it was a 31-point dominant win. That was a walk through. We walked through you. Yeah. We just walked through you.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Let's go. The team that you lost to the week before, Jameis Winston, and those Brownies. They lose big to a Chargers team there. The Jameis slander should not be coming out yet. He's got another 2 weeks before people can start to slander Jameis.
But I think 2 weeks.
I think this is more on the Chargers, that they have a really, really good defense, and Justin Herbert is starting to figure it out with Quentin Johnson, Lad McConkey, and J.K. Dobbins. I think that's the story.
So my question then to you, though, Trill, is this 5-3 Chargers team legit?
They're a good football team. I wouldn't say Super Bowl contender, but they're a playoff team.
No, of course not. But are they well, then they're legit.
Yeah, they're a playoff team.
If they can go from what
they can go and they can win a good football game in the playoffs, I think. The way Harbaugh has built up that squad, they're physical on defense. They run the football. They don't ask too much of Herbert, which for them to get to that next level, they're going to have to get to that opportunity where he can start to sling it like you think he should, but they might need to get him another weapon. But they're a good football team.
I'm very proud of this question, not to move off of this game, but if the playoffs were tomorrow, as Skip Bayless always would say, if the Super Bowl's tomorrow, if the playoffs were tomorrow, who's a more legit playoff winner? The Los Angeles Chargers or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Steelers.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that they're that one step above still, and especially with the way that Watt's playing, that whole defense. But the Chargers are there.
Cowboys are dead.
Cowboys are dead. Absolutely.
Dak's out for a while. I don't know. I haven't seen CD with the shoulder. He had a sprain AC joint or something like that. We'll see if he plays against the Eagles. But yeah, it's just funny seeing Dak on the sideline. Like, yeah, we fucking suck. That's what I was about to bring out. He literally
said his own team sucks. He said his own team sucks. And you're the QB, dog. What do we do? It's crazy, man. My question to you is, what do we think comes out of Dallas here? Do you think that before the end of the season, CD tries to get traded?
It's the trade deadline just happened, dog.
Okay, well then, do you think that he tries if they don't?
No, he just got a big contract. The two of them aren't going anywhere, and I'm okay with that. It's what happens to the other guys. What is Micah Parsons? What is Lawrence? What are the guys on the defensive side of the football? Diggs. They're going to have to rebuild that defense because that's their biggest issue.
Absolutely.
I feel like before they've been able to, the defense was able to keep them in games the last couple of years where Dak could figure it out. Now Dak's not figuring it out. Their defense stinks. That whole team stinks, and I love it. The Eagles got to just take care of business. They got to do it. Just put them out of their misery. Put them out the pasture. Because that team stinks. The Falcons.
Is McCarthy, the Falcons are dicey, dude. The Falcons are that team.
They're okay. I'd put the Chargers more likely to win over the Falcons.
Oh, this is one where we would go head to head. But I'm hot on Atlanta. I've been
Yeah.
hot on Atlanta all season long. Not as much as I have been the Rams,
Now the
which, by
Falcons
the
beat
way,
the
they're coming
Eagles, but
back.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But again, you've got to
Yeah.
see Atlanta's resume makes you feel better about that loss.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Because even the good teams that they've lost to, they've never gotten blown out. They have not. Tampa Bay's never blown them out.
Yeah.
They've been neck and neck with them the whole time. Dude, do we want to talk about? I mean, for God's sake, man, what is Miami? How do they keep it within 3 to Buffalo?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tua
Tua's
played great.
Tua's back. He's playing great. Buffalo doesn't put him to sleep on the road in Miami. Absolutely should have. I don't care that it's a division rival. You're the better team. You're absolutely the better quarterback. You've had nowhere close to the amount of injuries. Now, I always say the cadence, I'm the biggest proponent on what's your cadence in a division rivalry. I understand that. But this to me had a feel of like a of Kansas City going against, Denver. This should be a walkthrough. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where Buffalo should be. I don't feel that Buffalo is capitalizing off of the moments that they're supposed to be for how good people are saying they are. If he's supposed to be that second to third MVP call right now, why aren't they taking care of business where they're keeping it within 3? I just don't get it.
I
Because you
think
look at
I
that
think
score.
you're downgrading the Dolphins. The Dolphins their record isn't what it is because of
I
injuries.
agree. No, I
The
agree with
Dolphins
you.
were supposed to hang with this Bills team all year.
The Dolphins were supposed to possibly win the division. I don't
Yeah.
disagree, but that completely changes when your starting quarterback misses more than 3 weeks in the season.
Yeah, but they ended up pulling out the win anyway. That's a good win for the Bills.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, listen, you got to take it. I think that this again shows Miami is a
You're
lot
just
like.
trying to keep on knocking down people close to Lamar for that MVP.
No,
That's
not
all
at
you're
all.
doing.
I think that
Yes, you are.
Miami. I
You're
think that
afraid of
Miami.
voter fatigue, that they don't want to vote for
I don't
Lamar
care about another
again.
MVP, and neither does
Uh,
Lamar. We're ready for the Lombardi. Let's
uh,
make that clear. I think that Miami is the AFC version of the LA Rams. You're seeing what happens from a very good team when they get injured. And you're seeing that they can pull out either a quality win or a quality loss, a close loss, because there is such a thing as a quality loss. That to the Dolphins on the road, that's a quality loss. You came within 3 to a team that should be butchering you at this point, given the injuries that you've experienced. Same way with the Rams on the road, actually pulling out the win in OT, which that'll be our transition, dude. We truly are seeing who this is the reason why I don't understand why people were thinking that Cooper Kupp's going to get chopped. I mean, dude, if this team hadn't had the injuries that they're having, their record would not be the one that it is. The Rams are incredibly legit. I think you've been a proponent of it. Seattle really is not. They clearly paid the wrong guy. They gave him too much money early. Um, but dude, you got to feel for those two teams in Miami and the Rams.
yeah, I think this was a balance for this Rams Seahawks game to kind of go full into it now. Is the Rams became the team that they were supposed to be. The Seahawks showed the team that they actually were.
Mm.
Where the Seahawks were coming out on fire. People were hyping them up that they can make a run here. The Rams struggled out the gate. They weren't living up to expectations. The Rams take it to them, overtime, comeback, win, get it done. The Rams are that team now that's going to just bury that Seahawks squad that the Seahawks don't have a chance at this point in my mind. I wouldn't be afraid of playing them. Like what
No,
teams could they pass in the NFC? That Seahawks team. They're
and
eighth on the
honestly,
list, I would
you
say.
you
Seventh on.
you look at it, they were absolutely at the start of the season and even throughout, so far at least, they were supposed to be the better team to Arizona, and now Arizona's emerging as a team that could be
They're
dicey.
they're better. Yeah, I would take the Cardinals over the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
Did they play each other? No,
No.
no. They are coming up in 2 weeks though.
Are they?
Yeah,
Dude, should we talk about how like the Giants are putting up points, but man, they cannot get a win for the life of them.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm the Giants. When the Eagles played them 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, whatever. You got the point. I was a little afraid that they have the talent and stuff to put it together to
Mm-hmm.
squeeze out a win or two, but
Mm-hmm.
they just haven't been able to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the way that they've battled this Commanders team again, where earlier in the year they lost because they didn't have a kicker. Now they lose this game. Jaden Daniels wasn't all too impressive like he's been. But yeah, I don't know. They definitely shakeups are coming in New York. I just hope Danny
Big
Dimes
time.
stays there for life.
Forever. Yeah, you
Yeah,
hope he's a Giant for life.
yeah, of
Absolutely. You hope he's
course.
there as long as Eli, even longer, honestly.
Yeah,
Dude, Joe Flacco and Sam Darnold play a giveaway game, basically that entire game. Um, Obviously Minnesota got the win, a good win. Um, but man, listen, I believe in what I said last week, and we counted that as a loss for Indianapolis. I still think that this Indy team, dude, they can still win 10 games this season. I mean, to put 13 points up against a absolute Super Bowl contender in the NFC. I mean, right now it's in the NFC. I think it's Detroit, it's then Minnesota, it's three Eagles, and possibly if San Francisco could put it together, it's four. I think you wanted to see a little bit more separation there if you're a Minnesota fan. But I mean, I don't think that that's a knock on Indianapolis. They should have lost that game. They were going against a much better team. So if I'm Indy, I'm not too worried about that loss.
the Colts got the Bills, Jets, Lions,
They have
the
a
next
hard they have
three.
a hard schedule coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's Pats, Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jags to finish the year. So
Which they can win all of
yeah.
those.
So if they can take, one or two, if they can go 2-1 in these next three, they're in a good spot. But yeah. Yeah, Joey Flack, another playoff push for him. Can he win back-to-back comeback player of the years? Is that possible?
No, no, because who would right now get it, you think?
Comeback player of the year. Saquon Barkley? But is that from just being bad on a bad team to
Yeah.
getting two? I mean, Saquon and Derrick Henry are in the running for offensive player of the year.
Kirk Cousins, if they go
Yeah,
on a playoff
Kirk.
run?
Kirk, yeah, off the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, probably Kirk is the favorite. Without
Yeah.
looking at odds or anything for that, but um,
If the Jets actually did get to the playoffs, it would be Aaron, clearly.
yeah, yeah. If they get to the playoffs, hmm yeah, those
But
three.
but that's not happening.
I was thinking anybody on the Cardinals or something, but no, not really.
No.
Kyler, nah.
No.
All right, is that it for these games? I mean, Bears quit. The Bears just
Yeah.
straight up quit. You got players
He's
walking off the field.
You got to
Like,
fire him. You got to
yeah,
fire him.
yeah. They're in a loop there. I love listening to Big Cat and the Barstool Chicago guys. Just keep going. They were hyped up and now they're just on a downward spiral and it's hilarious. I feel for the guys, but and then the Saints, I mean, not just only to lose to the Panthers, but the way that their whole squad went to Twitter and just absolutely lost their minds,
I
calling
know.
out the coach, calling out everybody, Derek Carr, like what a team that was 2-0. Derek Carr's the MVP to losing to the Panthers. Head coach is gone. Everybody's going to be gone at the end of this year, and they're still in cap hell.
You think that Derek's done?
No, I mean he can still play. I just think that whole situation with the Saints is
It's
it's
bad.
it's
They've
nuts.
not been able to figure it out since Sean Payton left, is the truth.
Yeah.
And they've had the squad there to be dicey these past few years. I mean, dude, when Tom went to Tampa, the Saints had a legit roster for those few years. They did. They had a very playoff contending, but they just could not get it together with coaching, guys getting injured. Kamara not being able to stay healthy was clearly a really big downfall. Michael Thomas. Um, it's been hard for them. But yeah, no. I mean, listen, last year they were my pick to get the number one seed in the NFC. And honestly, when you looked at their roster, they looked a lot like that Cleveland team from a few years ago when they had Baker, Odell, Jarvis Landry. On paper, they looked phenomenal last year. And then they've just died on the vine ever since. Um,
Last thing before we
yeah,
transition the picks here, I'm very mad at myself. I never cash out. I never. I
you
very
ride.
rarely. Well, I ride
You
it.
ride.
Come Monday night, I had DeAndre Hopkins TD, 50 yards for Kelsey and D Hop, and a Kareem Hunt touchdown score.
All right.
$12 to win. It was like 150 or something like that. 125. And after the second D Hop touchdown in the third quarter, maybe going into the fourth, I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna cash out and then I'm gonna put it on something else. So I take the $5, cash out. put it on the over and Kareem Hunt twice. I had a couple other dollars in. And then for him to score a touchdown, we sweat it out to the end of the game. He ends up scoring the touchdown, but I could have had an extra 125 on top of the 125. I ended up winning, but it is what it is.
I
So,
don't feel bad for you. I'll just be honest. I
yeah.
don't. You came up on top still.
Yeah. But it's
So
one of those like, why am I doing that? Like we need to think of them. When is the right time to cash out? Is there ever a thing? Are
absolutely,
they
but
just are they just trying to sucker you? I don't
I
know.
don't think that we're not betting at the level yet where it makes sense to cash out.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. 1 billion, like $5, who cares? Like I mean,
Like if a
obviously,
cash out,
but
if you're looking for, if you got a
yeah,
bet
like
that's
a
going to
couple
pay you
grand or
120,
something. Yeah,
well, even if you got a bet that's going to pay you $120, the biggest cash out that you might get, let's say it's a five legger, you might get $55. At
yeah,
that point, you got to ride. They're not going to offer you 70.
yeah.
If they offered you 70 or 80, sure, you want to leave 40 on the table, okay, but they're never going to give you that. They're only going to give you like right around like 43%, 45%, maybe 47. If you had a 10K payout and you didn't know which way a game was going to go because of an injury and you had a $4,500 payout,
Yeah.
you might take that. You bet $100 and you got $4,500 cash out. Would I take
Hmm.
that? I'd highly consider it.
Yeah. But end of the day, I was able to still be smart. I was still able to flip it back into the money I would have made anyway. But we ended up coming out on top. And I'm thinking tonight, put a good 5 unit
We're
lay
yeah,
down on this
we're gonna
game.
do a lot today. It's
I'm
not gonna be
thinking of
good.
using some of that money we just made and maybe try to double it tonight.
Double it. You know that you're going down a gambling hole whenever someone hits you with the phrase, I'm looking to double it. That's when it all goes downhill. Okay, real quick, bro, before we hit our break and go into our picks, I just want to talk about a game that I am so excited is happening when it's happening. Praise God that we have the international game is Giants Panthers.
Yeah, that game
The
sucks.
worst game probably of the season. Thank God it's at 9:30 in the morning. It's not taking anyone's time frame from 1 o'clock on. We don't have to worry about it. We don't even have to watch it. We don't even have to worry about it. We don't have to think about it. I am so glad that that game is international.
And they stuck it in Germany too. Like they
I
said,
know.
here you go, Germans.
Here
This is
you
what
go,
you
Germany.
get.
Exactly. That's the one they gave him.
You get Giants Panthers.
Yeah.
You get Chuba Hubbard
What a
and Daniel
terrible game.
Jones. Like,
What a terrible game, dude. All right, let's hit a break. Are they really? Wow.
yeah, I know. We were
We
just
should talk
briefly,
about that game. Let's talk about that game.
yeah, briefly just looking over the picks before we got back into it here. Steelers getting 2.5 to the Commanders in Washington, but the Steelers coming off a bye. Commanders have Thursday night football against the Eagles next week. That's an interesting situation there, Harry. Well, I
What
kind of like the Steelers.
I love the Steelers
They're
here
yelling at us to take the Steelers. No,
because what I don't understand is let me just
but I
look at
don't
something
like
really
that.
quickly. I don't like that either, but I got to see something. So Washington 7-2 right now, and dude, in all honesty, they have not faced a defense as good as Pittsburgh all season long yet. The only person that I would say has got a defense that's closer to theirs, it's not us. It's not us. It's the Browns. Now they won that game 34-13, but they were also going against a quarterback that couldn't play at all. And Russell's actually producing. I don't know, man. I mean, where is the money going on that? I have no idea. Because you're right, dude. I mean, I feel like that's a lot to take the Steelers at 2.5.
Yeah.
That's a scary game. What's the
That's
total on
that's
that? Got
a lot of respect. 44.5, I think. 45.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I might. Maybe that's an underplay. I don't know. I don't understand that. I mean, I don't think that I respect favoring the Commanders, but it should be a pick 'em.
Yeah.
It should be the same line as Cardinals Jets. It should be a 1 point or a 1.5,
Hmm.
not practically a 3.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? because Jaden Daniels does not know what it's going to be like going against that pass rush.
Yeah, first pick, I'll take the Steelers. Give it to me. I'll take the bait.
All right.
I'll take the bait.
All right. First pick to the Steelers for Trill. All right. Hold on one second. I got to log into my app here. So when we,
You want me to go my second one while you're doing that?
yeah, go ahead.
You were saying it. Why are the Eagles 7-point favorites on the road against a division rival? Give it to me. I don't bet the Eagles very often on the show anymore, but they got to put them away.
Really?
They got to put them away. Put them
Eags
down.
minus the 7?
Yes. Put them away.
Wow. Bring me through. I mean, is that at home or is it on the
No,
road?
it's in Dallas, and they normally don't play
Oh,
great down there.
I
But
know.
the defense is playing a lot better. I'm more confident in the defense than I mean, I've always had high hopes that the potential is there, but Vic Fangio, I feel this could be interesting in the past where you have the backup QB and Cooper Rush that could,
Yep.
you see him all of a sudden picking you apart. And not this team right now. This team's got a lot of swagger on that defensive side of the football. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, these guys are starting to rush the passer. Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond are playing lights out in the linebacking position that we haven't seen in years for the Eagles. Like that defense is more that I get confidence. And then Dallas Goedert will be back. AJ's been practicing all week. Smitty's good. Saquon's good. I just don't see this Dallas team being able to stop the Eagles.
I
That's
hear
why.
you. I hear you. First pick. I'm riding again. I don't care. Colts plus the 4. Is it 4 or is it 3.5? Colts plus the 3.5. Listen, it's in Indianapolis. Do they win this game? I don't know. I don't care. I just need them to cover. That's what it is at the end of the day. Colts plus a 3.5 against the Bills. And for my second pick, I'm going between this Minnesota Jags game and then also this 49ers Buccaneers game. I don't like the line on the 49ers Bucks game, but you know what I actually love is the total, and I like the under. This is CMC's first game back.
Yes. Yeah. I believe so. He's been practicing.
What do you like? I like the under 50.5. That's a lot of room. I like I,
Yeah.
I, I like that pick.
The way Tampa was able to move that ball on the Chiefs defense at the end of the game was respectable by
100%.
Baker.
100%. He can play, dude.
Yeah. Even without the wide receivers. I lean more to the 49ers there, but 6.5's a lot.
It's a lot. That's why
I
I think I'm
like
going to
the
go for the
under. I
total.
like the
I like the
under
under too.
because
Yep.
they really haven't been moving the ball that great either. I
That's
mean,
right.
the 49ers, like they really haven't been clicking, but maybe this is the game they click because they finally got that running back.
Under 50.5. That's my pick. What's your third, bro?
My third, we are gonna go and we are gonna take a look at where did it go? Yeah, another one that I was looking at. I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to get me to take the bait here, but the Saints are reeling. Do they get the new coach bump with the firing of the coach? But the Falcons coming off a decent win against I I gotta take the Falcons right at 3.5.
Yeah, you have to.
Like this game shouldn't be close,
You have to.
but maybe this is one of those situations where it's like they rally around the new coach. We got to try to get something going again here, and I look like a dope.
I don't know, man. I think that game. No, I think that the reason why the line is actually that low, why Atlanta's not
Because
favored by more, is because it's a division rivalry.
yeah, but there's a lot of big lines throughout. Like the Eagles are seven
There
point
are.
favorite,
There
like
are.
against a division rival. That's bad.
Yep.
Like I don't know. It's interesting.
This Minnesota Jags game, dude, I just have a feeling Minnesota at home did not play well. They're going on the road, even though they won, and they're going on the road again to Jacksonville, who did play well, even in that loss against the Eagles.
In the second half, I mean, they got help, but
I
whatever.
think I might take the Jags here, man.
I
Going
don't
back,
hate it.
going back to that. Remember, I told you when a bad team doesn't play well on the road and then they're at home and they got a big line like that.
Sure,
Jags plus the 7.
sure.
All right. Jags plus the 7. Fourth and last regular pick going to Utro.
Give me let's have some fun Sunday night. Give me the over 48.5 Texans Lions.
That's a great pick. You don't think that slows down at any point? That they got to slow the game down? They are the Lions like Miami last year, where that's their only gear is fast.
I think so. And I don't think their defense can really stop people as much right now. I mean,
Hmm.
the Titans put up 400 plus yards of offense. They just weren't able to score touchdowns. I think CJ Stroud and this team can still score touchdowns. So,
Dude, it stings me so much that I can't bet my team because I haven't bet them all season long, and I swore and I haven't sworn to
how do you
it.
feel
But
about that game tonight? Because I kind of want to put a big unit on something here.
okay,
And let me,
you want to know what I really think? You want to know what I really think? Me,
you're
am
scared,
I?
aren't you?
No. My question to
No,
you is, in all honesty, as the luck guy, can I bet this game?
no, you stay away from it.
I
I think
have to, right?
you try to sit back and then you go you send a video whether you win or lose tonight, and it's either the Bengals stink, we own the North, or all right, the Bengals might be creeping back into this, but the Ravens are still the Ravens. We got to figure out a couple things, but we're good.
Okay, you're out of regular picks, but if I were to give you a pick to put as your lock, I would put it on the under in that game,
Okay.
52 and a half.
You know what I want to do? I want to go Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown.
Okay, but we don't do that for this
I
part of the
I
show.
know, but I'm just thinking for
Oh, absolutely.
my
Absolutely. I think it's him
five
and
unit play. You think
I
50.
think it's him and T Higgins that we put in.
I mean, we can't do. We're not going to get this out till later.
No,
So
I know. All right, but here, point is, I got to give my fourth pick. I can't decide whether I want to make the Rams my lock or just a pick. They're -1. It's a pick 'em. I don't know if I like any games more than that one. Yeah, I'm gonna do Rams -1 for my last pick before we go to locks. Or excuse me, certainties.
certainties. Hmm.
Did the did,
I might go golf a little bit after this. Go play a little chip
good for
putt.
you.
Get my
Did,
cornhole throws in. Make sure
did
you
the
subscribe into the channels.
did the Chiefs cover last week
Well,
against Buccaneers?
they ended up getting six. I forget what it was, but
I'm taking the Chiefs as my lock -8. It's the first time I've bet them as a lock. I think that they bludgeon Denver again. Or do I do the over at 41 and a half?
hmm, you know what I want to do here?
What?
That Germany game we were talking about.
You're gonna bet that? Oh, that's horrible, man. What are you gonna do? You're gonna
I
take
think
the Giants
I think of the Panthers.
to to cover the six?
Yeah.
That's a game, I will say this. That's a game where people are gonna make money because nobody's gonna be watching it,
hmm
and that means that money's gonna be made. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do because
I'm either going that way or I just don't like 7.5 for the Chargers though. Like I would
no,
tease
I
it
don't
down to
either.
6.5.
I'm redoing what I want. I'm putting Rams in as my lock because I believe in them so much. You know how much I love the Rams, and I'm taking the Panthers plus the 6.5.
hmm Yeah, give me the Rams too as my certainty.
We're what?
Earthquake for our certainties.
That's crazy. All right. Uh, but you're not touching the. Yeah, no, you're not. You're
No,
not
I'm
touching
not.
the. Yeah, okay. And then both have Ram -1. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, dude. To the parlay. It'll let me log in.
I know my app was giving me troubles a second ago.
You got to shop around for odds, by the way.
I know. Well, I tried going to the different sports books. I wasn't doing well. So I just went back to the good old faithful blue one.
I hear you. But
Oh
we
my
don't give any
God.
shout outs because they're not
Minus
sponsoring the show yet.
270. I know, that's why I said the blue one. Minus 270 for McCaffrey. For his first game back. That's crazy.
The heck?
That's nuts. How about we like oh you can't why Falcons Saints doesn't have touchdowns up yet. I would have liked Bijan there.
Let me see. Let me see.
We like Malik Neighbors.
Are we doing? Or should we just go fully back to picks?
What? Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could do
Yeah,
Saints
we
or
got
not
to do. We
Saints.
got to do picks.
Rams, Rams.
Yep.
We like the Birds, Eagles.
Not minus. I like the over 43
All right,
in that game,
I'm with that.
and I like. We always like to root for points. I like. I like the Colts plus the 4 a lot.
Mm,
Honestly, or do we like the Giants and Panthers over 40 and a half?
no, no, no,
No?
no,
No, no, no.
no. I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
Or do you like the nah? Um, and Steelers or Falcons.
Mm,
This is good podcasting. You need to go
I
hard
think
because
that
you
we
got
go I think we go
thinking.
Commanders. I think that we go Commanders money line.
I mean, I took
I
the
know, I'm
Steelers.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Do we do that or do we do Bears? Well, not to cover not they I don't think they're gonna cover that spread. They're not gonna cover that spread. We could do over 44 in the Minnesota Jags game.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too.
All right.
I got odds at
15, 183.93.
dude, I'm on another app. I'm getting 195.
Oh,
Look at me.
that's why you do gotta shop around.
You do.
As we're still free agents, we're still looking for somebody to put a ring on it here.
I get it, man. All right. That's a show, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next week. Ravens, Bengals prime time. Let's just end it off quickly with my take on this game. Ravens are going to win. Ravens are going to win. It's at home. It's not even a question. We're going to roll them and we're going to roll them good. The 52 and a half, if I had a play to play here, and I do not bet the Ravens so far this season, and I haven't decided whether I will bet them yet. I haven't made it a certainty that I won't. I would take the under. 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 Why do I say take the under? Both the Ravens and the Bengals are coming off high scoring games. And sooner than later, you got to get back to your DNA that the AFC North is, and that's defense and running the football. Um, I think that this is going to be a game where you're not going to see both T. Higgins and Chase get loose. I think it's going to be one or the other, depending on who you believe in, you pick. And I don't think that this is going to be a game where Aguilar or Flowers are going to be very much of use. We're going to build through the trenches. This is going to be a heavy reliant. I love the pick that Trilly said. Lamar Jackson is going to look to get loosey goosey with his feet. He is going to look to dominate in the run game. He is going to give it in the pass game. There's going to be a lot of play action. I love under 52 and a half on that game. If you have money, if you want to bet it, bet the under. That's my point. I wouldn't touch the line. I think 6 is a lot for this because the Bengals are a little bit hot. Could I see us covering it? Yes, but it is the AFC North and it's a division rivalry. Ravens win easy, no question about it. And even if that win is a 3 point, JT with the 9, we never do not trust in JT, and that's the truth. So Ravens win, Ravens win, Ravens win, Ravens win.
5 units on Lamar to score a rushing touchdown tonight. Lock it in. I did it. I did it. All right. Shout out 215. Go Birds, baby. They got to roll the Cowgirls. Got to do it. Got to
Got to
do it.
do it.